that being said, I did kind of want to go through and talk about the anatomy of a self-tape, starting with a slate. What kind of slate do you guys prefer? What do you want to see on a slate? Do you want it before, at the beginning? Do you want it at the end, after?
I honestly usually, before, if I end up sharing it with producers, the directors, I usually cut the slate. That said, I do like to maybe hear name and height, something basic, maybe a full body, but usually I always cut it out, so.
If the slate doesn't invite me and isn't in the right lane of what I'm about to see in the scene, I cut it too. But what I love is when the slate gives me a flavor, a vibe of what I'm about to see. So it isn't one slate fits all. I know that different offices, they ask for all kinds of things in a slate. I'm fine with just a name. But I do like to see full body. I like to see, I like to see the silhouette.
I agree. I'm name, and I don't cut the slate, I keep it, but I like the slate separate from the audition tape so that there's a slate. So when you upload it, there's the slate and then there's the work. So that if my director needs to see a little bit more or the personality or something like that, then I have the slate to go with. And I like full body, and I do profiles, and I do want to see personal style.
Lighting.
Oh, dear God.
So one of the big misconceptions, I think, was that you need professional lighting, you need to go to a studio to get this lighting accomplished.
The girls know better than that. All the girls have the circle light. They just do. They have the ring light, and it's just... Yeah,
Can we see
You
your...
have a ring light, right? All the girls have... Yep, there it is. That's the small version. There's the larger version. Everybody, we get this. We get the ring light. Just stop it.
Where do you get one of those?
Amazon.
I got mine on Amazon for $8. Okay, right?
Everything's on Amazon. No, you can have the larger ring light.
Yeah.
Because the larger ring, it's also on Amazon, but if you're on Instagram, it'll just pop up because Siri is always listening to you anyway, so just say ring light. And then when you turn it on, you think it's magic, but actually it's an algorithm because they listening. Ring light.
So ring lights are great. Sometimes you'll add a lamp to it. That's cool. I know back in the day it was big box lights and all of that. You don't need that whole big setup. You don't need to do it anymore. This little thing I took with me to New York, okay? And you don't usually in the casting office you're maybe 6 feet away from camera, right? So we're not going to know how far away you are, right? So you just bring that right up here where it needs to so it glows just right. You bring your reader close enough, make sure your reader isn't too loud if they're that close to you, and that's it. Yeah. You can do a tripod or, the old school way, put it on some books, on a shelf. We don't know, we're not asking you to, we only see how much, right? This is all we see. We don't know what's happening everywhere else. Just keep that clean.
Literally stick it in a mug.
Yeah.
And put the mug up high, and boom. You gotta watch them youngins on YouTube. Those babies will teach you everything.
Speaking of readers, where can somebody find a reader?
Class. That would be a great place to find a reader. Not your mom.
Some moms are good readers, though.
Some moms are good readers.
Some moms are good readers.
Yeah.
I've gotten bad moms. Their cursing sounds like off, and you're just like, ooh, that's a mom.
So
But
class.
but at the end of the day, if you don't have an actor friend or someone in the family that's an actor, I think as long as you have somebody, preferably in the room, that can connect with you, that you can connect with and do your work with, it's okay if they sound a little stiff or they're not a pro, because we just need to get that first feel from you in the pre-read and the self-tape.
I think ultimately we just don't want it to be distracting, right? To not just your performance, but just, when we show it to producers and director, we just want to make sure you shine and that they're not waiting to hear a reader's voice. We want to hear your voice. And that's a good point about making sure your reader is farther away from the microphone than you are. Eyeline. A lot of people get this wrong, and this one is pretty basic, and I feel like it's fairly universal. Would one of you like to explain eyeline and where it should be?
I like closest to the camera as possible. So right to the side, left or the right, but closest to the camera as possible.
For eye level to
Eye
the
level.
to the camera.
Oh, level.
Both. Eyeline, eye
Okay.
level.
So I like camera lens eye level with the auditioner, with you. But if your reader happens to be really tall and you can't get that person to scooch down and you can't come up on books or something, then split the difference with the camera. So you're not looking way up, you're just looking, the camera's only catching half of it.
Face forward, no profile.
Face forward, not profile.
Do you think that's funny? No. But I've gotten profile. Seriously.
So many.
It's
I'm
so
like,
many.
where is she looking? What is happening? So, yeah, it seems funny, but
It's
that is
true.
a great point.